Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have Sam from post-hardcore band Softspoken.
What's up, everyone? How's it going, Randy? Good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Bag is so small, her grip falling behind. All she really wants is to feel some kind of light. It's a no return trip, so take another sip. Here's the life of and the risk. Never know where to go. Can I stay here or she'll never know? Fading light, father on the bottle, coating his boat.
I just wanted to dig into some history, how you got started in music, what age.
Yeah, definitely. Um, Man, I feel like we all get started in music at an early age in some fashion, whether it's listening or playing. I picked up the guitar. I maybe like 13, 14. Um, but yeah, I grew up loving like punk and pop punk and stuff like that. Had like a big ska phase for a while. I loved like Less and Jake and um, stuff like that. Op Ivy, but man, yeah, I did the music thing in high school with my first band. Tried the college thing. Did the college thing. Tried the after college phase thing, and music pulled me back in. I met Chris, who couldn't be with me on this interview, is the guy who started Softspoken, and I met him in the scene in high school. Actually, my high school band shared the stage with him and his band a couple times. So it was cool how our paths crossed again later down in life. Yeah, I got back into music just through a friend. Started playing a guitar in a band called Ocean Grid, and then stumbled upon Chris, and he was still doing the same thing. He actually lived in Japan for a few years and taught English. And then he played like an easy core band, like a Day to Remember kind of band out there in Japan too. And then Soft Spoken was actually a side project for him, so he actually moved back home just for other reasons and started Soft Spoken. And yeah, so I was playing guitar and just talking to him and just loving their sound. And yeah, they actually like lost their singer, so I kind of had already kind of put my voice into Chris's ear a little bit. He had heard me sing. He knows I could sing a little bit. I wanted to do it, so it was kind of weird how that happened. I guess life happens. It's hard to keep members together, and bands. It's exciting at first, and then you realize what it is all about, like touring and trying to market yourself these days, and it's tough. So holding on to people. But yeah, I was blessed to get to try out, and here I am still. 2022 after uh, a heap of a mess of 2020, and now poor people, brothers and sisters in Ukraine, and that's crazy. So uh, music just is hanging on, like for us. But
Could you tell me some of your musical influences?
yeah, definitely. So my mom's a big Queen fan. She's from Wales, so I grew up. I listened to Freddie's voice a lot. Love Queen. But then even more so, I love what people are doing these days. Bad Omens just released a new record, and when we played Rockville, I got to see them play live, and phenomenal singer, phenomenal live, and I honestly find a lot of influence in what people are doing today too. So I feel like even what I'm trying to do now versus what I was doing before, it's just like, oh, that's old. I just want to change and just trying to keep up with what people are doing now. Justin Bieber actually is. I'm gonna throw that out there, and people can make fun of me all they want, but hey, whatever. To each their own. Justin Bieber actually kind of influences me a little bit. My wife is a huge JB fan, so that probably is partly why. But yeah, I mean, I'm all over though with music. Actually, when I had that, I mentioned I had a little ska phase. Listen to Less Than Jake. It kind of led me down to some reggae, which I love and I still listen to today. So
When you joined Softspoken, um, can you tell me about that process of how you did that? The band was already formed, like, for how long before you joined?
yeah, I want to say probably about a year and a half, 2 years, and maybe Chris would be better to correct me on that, just because like it was a side project from him for him in Japan. But for me, yeah, I remember going to a show and checking them out because I heard that maybe they were going to be like kind of disbanding some members. And I got to talking to Chris, and he was like, "Well, just who knows what the future looks like? Come out and like try out and have a go at it." So him and Billy is our other guitar player. We went to like Chris has a brother that produces, and we went to his studio, and I tried out "Begin Again." I don't. So those of you guys listening, if you guys have heard "Begin Again" by ours, that was like my first kind of song with them. Kind of it was. Yeah, so they kind of threw this song that they had been working on, and I just kind of improv some lyrics which are actually still stuck with the song. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, that's kind of how that went. It was actually originally I left the part out. Originally it was to fill a bass position, and I was actually going to maybe even kind of like help harmonize a little bit with the singer. So I forgot that that's originally kind of how it started the conversation with me and Chris in Soft Spoken. Yeah, I band hopped, I guess, and that's what people do, I guess, until you find the right people. And man, it's funny. Me and Chris bring it up all the time. I'm 32. So is he? Actually, no, he just turned 33 on the 14th. Um, last one. But it's funny how like looking back, like wow, didn't think that we would cross paths and go on tour. This is what we wanted to do forever ago. It's like cool. I mean, still young, so maybe got another decade of doing it. We'll see what happens. I don't know, it's fun.
Do you know how they came up with the band name? How it originally came about?
Yeah, slightly and slightly no. I feel like there might be some Japanese like meaning behind why Chris chose soft spoken. But if you've ever met Chris, he is like a soft spoken person. So I know a lot of it comes from that, his personality. He's just like a very quiet, wise, wisdom, like 2020 kind of Socrates kind of guy. It's just so like you just always listen when he talks, and it's not that often, but you get to know him though. He's a little bit of a chatterbox, but yeah, yeah. He's gonna watch this and be like, "God, you're dumb, talking to me dumb."
What city is the band based out of?
Northern Kentucky. And if we get too far out of our home state, we'll just say Cincinnati. But I'm like 20 minutes from Cincinnati. So is Chris. Billy in our band grew up in Ohio, grew up in Hamilton County, but then actually currently he lives in Michigan. So he moved up to like near Grand Rapids. And then actually we just we've we've been just me, Chris, and Billy for a while. Um, we've kind of struggled with drummers, and we finally have a guy out of Lexington. We work out of Lexington a lot. We do a lot of our recordings, and we got a good friend of ours who has a studio in there. So we got a guy who we met through that out of Lexington, and he's awesome on drums. He filled in on Rockville, and so not to name drop or anything yet, but soon growing the family a little bit, and got a guy interested in playing bass, and he's been jamming with us. So might have a full look on stage finally. So that'd be cool. But yeah, so mainly Northern Kentucky, Northport, Cincinnati.
If our hearts can send lines of consciousness to every limb, telling it to be still or act on an impulse, how do we maintain integrity in our lives? Keep me free from toxic ways. I can trace the lines to that place in time when you redefined what was yours and mine, and what it meant to realize.
When the pandemic hit and live music shut down for that year, what did you do during that time?
I feel like I look back and I wish I would have like hopped on like the TikTok trend a little harder. But I actually like I feel like when I do music, create music, I kind of just like to be like alone, and I don't like to share it or like stream a lot or things like that. I try to stay soft spoken, keep to the image. So I wrote a lot of music, and some of which that we've just started working on and just finished up some of them, and some of them got to still finish. But yeah, so I wrote music and then watched a lot, stayed up till like 5 in the morning, and drank coffee at 3 a.m. when the devil's supposed to come out. I want to be alive and ready. Yeah, I wish I would have done more. I wish I'd been like, this is my chance to stream. I feel like I'm kind of late to the game with technology too. So, I did order things on Amazon, which I'm sure a lot of people did. I ordered, Scarlett interface, a microphone, and then I was like, all right, I'm ready. And then Jobs calling back. I'm like, all right, I guess we're gonna try and get back to the real world. So I lost the streaming trend. Actually, we did have a streaming show, um, like a holiday one, worked out pretty cool too. So and then right when COVID hit, 2020, that's when we filmed "Sleight of Hand" in the Road, our two music videos. So that was cool. So we stayed busy as much as we could during COVID, and now that shows are coming back finally. So we got some dates coming up. So that's gonna be cool. I'm a chatter. Sorry, man.
No, that's fine. Uh, after live music returned, um, and you guys played out. Did you guys play out after it was lifted?
Yeah. And not right away. Let's see. Our first in darn, I'm trying to think here. I want to say it was like spring 21. We had our first show, maybe. It was pretty cool, and honestly went really well. From coming back, we thought we were all going to be pretty rusty.
Did you notice like the crowd more engaged and there's more energy from the crowd with live music back?
Yeah, yes and no, yes and no. There were a couple shows that were awesome. So yeah, and then I still feel like people were, even still now I feel like people are slowly coming back. It's like I think the bigger artists are kind of oversaturating the smaller people still. Um, but Rockville was sweet, and then we had a couple dates leading up to Rockville that were so kick ass. Like tons of people. And one little venue kind of like had a sold out, like that would reach max capacity, so that was cool. So maybe it was 20, more like 2022 when things got good. Yeah, um, maybe other people had um, better luck right out of the gate there. So yeah, we didn't really hit it too hard till 2022.
I wanted to dig in a couple of your songs. Where the Heart Belongs. Now, you had a guest vocalist on that. How do you decide that you want to bring a guest on to one of your songs? How do you decide about that?
I feel like that's something artists always talk about in the background. It's like because at the end of the day, like you do have like your circle of friends that you network with, and that's how we got Alexia on that track. Is just because we went on tour with them, and Chris actually, he is a manager as well. So his partner over at 307 Management manages I Set to Kill. So it's kind of how that worked out. But I guess in deciding that, the lyrics are about the women in my life, and I know that Lexia kind of like shared a story with us, about her kind of life and upbringing. So, and we were talking about on new stuff, anyways. I have a really good friend. He's a singer in a band called Ascent Like Wolves. His name's Al Bolts, and he's always been like trying to collab, and he's the collab man. I love it, and he was the one kind of putting it in my ear, like, let me get on track, let me get on track. So there's always that, and even with this new stuff that we have, we're actually going to do like a revamp of Pathways. I did a couple tracks off that EP, but we're gonna do the whole thing and kind of redo it. And we're actually gonna have like a guest vocalist on each track, so all of our buddies in some bands. But yeah, that's kind of how that unfolded with Alexia, and I think her part fits what.
Now, did you already have an idea that you wanted her to come in and sing, or how'd that work?
Her specifically, not right away. Um, we knew we wanted to like have like maybe a guest feature, and that song kind of like fits her too. It's like softer. Like I said, I don't know like exactly what sparked like Alexia, but it was kind of just fresh off that tour that we went on with them. We before COVID, we had went on a tour with them, and so some of those songs, "Where the Heart Belongs," one of them, was kind of being worked on like soon after we got back. So her voice, man, is just awesome. It's just fresh in our minds.
There's another song called "Realign," and there's a line in the song that says, "How do we maintain integrity in our lives?" And then after that, it goes, "Keep me free from toxic waste." Like, do you think there's like people around us that influence our decision making, kind of like that?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's kind of what that song's about. Just yeah, I feel like everyone sees a little bit of a dark side to him. I don't know if you're a Star Wars fan, but it just exists, like a yin and a yang. It exists, and you don't have to look at this negatively, but like where there's good, there's evil. Where there's evil, there's good. It's just like it's just a weird balance that makes the world spin. So that song is kind of like about that and just battling those thoughts.
Yeah, like the demons, battling your demons, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, demons. Yeah, yeah, most definitely. People call them all kinds of things. Yeah, sins. People have like asked us if we're like a Christian band before, um, and not saying that you are right now. We've gotten that before too. So it's demons, and in a lot of the lyrics that I write, I try to like write from like a positive standpoint. So in a spiritual way. So we do like like those like to keep that integrity, I guess, about humans and just staying moral as best as you can, even though that like we do face like demons, and that's normal. Um, you just kind of you work you work with it to work against it, and I know it's kind of weird, but yes, that song's kind of dark.
What do you guys got planned for 2022?
Woo! So starting here in March, March 17th, we are gonna be driving out to New Mexico. Yay! We're from Kentucky, so we'll get there eventually. To meet up with none other than I Set the Kill, actually, for a second go around, and it's just gonna be a short little run with them, hitting like Texas and Tulsa, Oklahoma. Um, the first date is in New Mexico, and then we'll be riding home by ourselves. And then we got a hometown show with some really good friends of ours called Avanti. So if anyone's looking for some new music, heavy music with a female vocalist, they're kick ass. Their name is Avanti. And so we got a hometown show with them. It's their CD release show, and then we're gonna go on the road with them right after for like a week, and then we July actually we have a big run with Alive in Barcelona. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of them, but they're out from the West Coast too. So we're meeting up with them for like a lot of July, if I can remember, to do some jamming. So we got a lot of jamming ahead of us, which is cool because now it's like kind of finally kicking in. Like I said, we had like we had two little comeback shows from COVID, and then now things are starting to happen. So it's pretty cool. Hopefully it stays that way. Putin. I'm just kidding.
How can we get a hold of you guys? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
All the above.
That's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just thanks to everyone who supports Softspoken and to all the new potential fans out there supporting Randy Show and the Roundtable, man. I hope you guys give Softspoken a chance, and just want to thank you for having me on and having Softspoken on your guys' show. And it's an honor and a blessing. Thanks, Randy, so much.